What is your name?
My name is Melva Hutton. Well, I remember asking Mother why my name was Melva, and she said at one time it was going to be Harriet. I don't know, and I thought maybe that was from my dad's name being Harrison. But then on my birth certificate, it's crossed out. Marva is, and I have Melva. So I don't think a lot about it anymore.
How old are you?
I am 69, soon to be 70 next month. I remember growing up in Kansas City, Missouri, but spending all of my summers in Chautauqua, Kansas, where my mom was born. And there it was a lot of playing around and not a lot of friends to play with, but there were a couple of girls that lived down the street that had horses, and we went horseback riding. The streets were not paved, they were gravel, and so we tried to walk on gravel roads with no shoes on and learned that that wasn't the best thing to do. But my grandmother had pecan trees and pear trees, and so we had a lot of fun just playing outside and picking fruit and nuts.
What was your favorite toy and why?
My favorite toy, I think, was jacks. I like to play jacks. I learned how to play jacks, and I still can play jacks now, but that's something that not a lot of people play anymore. But I think that was my favorite toy. And paper dolls. We had lots and lots of paper dolls.
What was your favorite thing to do for fun?
I think for fun, we would just ride our bikes down there or go to the movies. At that time, the movie only cost 10 cents to go. But we had to sit behind a certain rope because at that time, blacks and whites could not go to movies together. So we always had to sit behind a rope. And it's nice that that has changed now.
What did your family enjoy doing together?
We used to take evening rides and get ice cream and ride across the viaduct in Kansas City and just kind of hang out. And I was trying to think of the name of the park, Cliff Drive. We would drive over to Cliff Drive, and they had a fountain with water, and we would get out and walk around and then go get our ice cream. I don't think my mom had a lot of fear about us going out playing. We could ride around and go down the street and up the corner, and as long as we were back by a certain time. Now it would be very scary to let your children go out for a while and tell them to be back by a certain time because it's not nearly as safe as it was back then.
What was school like for you as a child?
I love school. The way we started school each morning is we had to bow our heads and say a prayer. And you know, there's no prayer in school anymore, which I think is not good. Because I don't know if we were fearful that someone was looking down upon us, making us do what was right. But it just seems so different now. I think everyone needs prayer, and it's too bad they took it out of the school.
What was your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject in school was spelling.
Spelling, like Scrabble?
Yeah, maybe that is why I like Scrabble, but I think my worst subject was math. I wasn't as interested in math as I was in spelling and English and reading, those kinds of things.
What world events had the most impact on you while you were growing up?
The main event that I remember having an impact when President Kennedy was assassinated. I can remember I was in junior high and in my English class, and Kennedy was a wonderful president, and I think it just really had an effect on me.
What was your profession and how did you choose it?
I was a kindergarten teacher for 41 years, and I think the reason I wanted to be a teacher is I just love kids, and I started out in high school being a candy striper and working in the pediatrics and seeing a lot of little kids there. And so and I like trying to babysit and things like that, so I think that was why I was excited about teaching. if I had it to do over again, I would choose that profession again.